talking about wands. So personally I prefer making my own, but you can also buy online like one of these. This is like a Harry Potter wand, or you can buy crystal wands, which is what most people use. Most people use wands for cleansing or directing energy, which is mainly what they're used for, is to direct energy. Because if you're like trying to cast a circle for your rituals, you're not gonna like want to use your finger. Sometimes you're gonna struggle to direct energy. Another thing people can also use is using a knife to also direct energy instead of using a wand. So wands like this one's a fairly light wand, and I put quartz at the top, and I also wrapped mine with copper wire because copper is a really good conductor to direct energy. So clear quartz is a very universal crystal. I also engraved my zodiac signs in here, my moon and my rising and my sun sign, and also the elements they fall under. So this is more of my personal elemental type wand. And this one is more of a general wand. I have some sigils engraved in the wand as well, here at the bottom. I have some sigils that I engraved in here to strengthen the wand. I cannot remember what crystals I put in here. I know the top one's an amethyst. I also wrapped it in copper wire. This copper wire I ran through the entire wand. The crystal at the back, I think it's an agate, but I can be wrong. I can't really remember. And it's also kind of really wrapped in copper. I can't really tell. But this one's more heavier wand, and this one also has a slight curve to it, whereas this one's more of a straighter wand. And this one's also fairly shorter than that one. I used different types of wood as well. And this one has two different trees that I used wood from because I wrapped another stick around this one. And yes, I've finished them off with a nice wood varnish. This one, on the other hand, I bought off the internet. So I bought it from Wish, and this is actually the Harry Potter wands. This was Albus Dumbledore's wand from the movie Fantastic Beasts. So this is what he had apparently before he had the Elder wand. So what I like about it, it has some runes carved on the base of the wand. And it has a very light feel to it. This particular one I bought has a metal core to strengthen it as well. So I thought that will also make a really good conductor. So this one's a little darker, so you can't really see it that great. So I'm going to try to... It's also a fairly long one. In comparison, the longest one I have is this one. And the shortest one, I'd say, is this one I made. So my wands are both the shortest and the longest ones. But length is up to personal preference when it comes to wands. And you don't need a wand like this. You don't need crystals. Crystal wands are generally just about this big, and you just hold them in your hand and you can just manipulate the energy as you wish. Now, knives is another thing a lot of people use. This one is not very sharp anymore. It was one of my sharpest knives. But also, if you're using a knife, I'd say be very, very careful of, to not harm yourself with it. Because generally what you want to do is you're going to hold it like this, and then you just direct the energy where you need the energy to go. The same thing with the wands, but the wand is just generally easier because you can hold it with one hand, and I generally suggest holding it something like that. So you're going to hold it about like that, because then you can direct the energy better. So tips on making wands, I'd say don't really use sticks you find on the ground. I'd rather take one that you're gonna cut off from a tree, and also if you take it from a tree, make sure that you give something in return. So a little bit of water, sprinkle a little bird seed, but you need to, if you take something, you have to give back to nature. How long does it take to make your own wand? I made this in an afternoon, and the same with this one. It just takes a little time for the wood varnish to dry. Further than that, it's not really that difficult. Copper wire isn't that expensive. You can also use silver wire or gold wire, whatever you prefer. And you can use any crystals. I like this one, has more of a pointy crystal, so it's a better, so I generally think this one will work better for directing energy. But this one, also I took a crystal that has a little bit of a point. You're going to want a crystal with a bit of a point for your front crystal. The back, you don't have to have a crystal at the back. This one doesn't, but this one has a little pentagram that I drew. Little pentagram that I drew there. But you can make a wand for any purpose you'd like. You can make it for a specific purpose. You can just make it a general wand, like this one. You can buy them from the internet. You can use a crystal wand. You can use a knife. You can use your hands, but if you're casting a circle, it's generally easier if you just have a quick tool to do it with. Another nice thing that wands come in handy with, if you are the type of witch who does like TikToks and stuff, you can use a wand to do pointing stuff. It's like kind of cool. You can just like point whatever you want to add in your video. So it's kind of a nice aesthetic as well, but it's not really one of your base tools in the craft. You don't need a wand at all. I just made this because I really felt called to make my own wands, and this one I just bought because I'm a Harry Potter fan and I collect Harry Potter collectibles, and I just thought it looked cool. So I don't actually use this one in my craft, it's just a collector's item. These two, however, I do use sometimes. I use this one actually more than this one, just purely because it's lighter. And this one also has a little bit more of a balance to it. Whereas this one, yeah, this one's a little harder to balance, and you can feel it has a little more weight to it. So you're also going to want to make sure your wands are evenly balanced at both ends. That's why this one has two crystals, because the pointed crystal was a little bit more heavier. But this one's very light, so it balances easily. This, however, I'm never gonna be able to do this. That's a lot heavier than this. Not gonna work. So that's also another reason why I don't use this one in my craft. You don't actually need any particular skill to make your own wand. It's a very quick and easy thing to do. I might do a DIY where I show you step by step how to make your own wand, but that's all that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about the base uses of wands, and that's mostly just to direct energy or to cast a circle, something which is using them to point at things, and they make really good conductors in your craft as well. See you guys in the next video. Bless, guys. Bye.